Oh, wait, no longer. Greatness has arrived. Welcome to the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. I'm your host, Joseph, and it is here where each and every Thursday, me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest, the greatest in all things PlayStation. Of course, you could get this podcast wherever you find your podcast service of choice. You could rate us a 5 stars over on Apple Podcasts. You could rate us 5 stars over on Spotify. And if you really, really like us, you could toss us a buck our way over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. So with all that said, and with all that out of the way, the greatest co-host whoever is, whoever will be, making his grand return, Mr. Kyle Stevenson. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You switched up the wording and you threw me off.
So, real talk, that was the first time I didn't look at the notes while doing the intro.
Hey, you did great.
Yeah?
But if you don't watch the show, I always like mime when Joe is saying the intro.
Yeah.
And usually when you do AKA, I wave my head back and forth. You didn't do AKA and I was lost.
Right. Yeah, you're right. That's the thing. Because midway through, I'm like, I'm missing something. No, Joe, just stick with it.
No, it was fantastic.
All right.
And don't adjust your TV sets if you're watching or your phones, whatever. Yeah. Joe and I, unplanned, wore the same color today.
That's right. Well, I'm repping our good friends over at Carpool Gaming, Mr. Sean Capri's shirt.
I'm repping my own brand, 6-1 Indie.
Look at that. A little bit of self-promotion.
Yeah.
And listen, real talk, when it comes to 6-1 Indie, I get to say this to your face now.
Uh-huh.
First off, the community's so proud of you.
Oh,
I am so incredibly proud of you.
Thank you.
If y'all were living under a rock, they did their indie mini showcase, and holy crap, dude. It was awesome. Major outlets were covering it. Our friends over at Kind of Funny were covering it.
We made it on the Jeff Grubb game mess schedule. It's pretty cool.
You guys literally kicked off PAX.
Yeah, we did.
And I maybe there's a little bias here because I know you guys were buddies and whatnot, but that was literally one of the best showcases I've ever seen.
Thanks, man.
Like, I looked at that because like every time I'm looking at something like an indie thing that our friends are doing, I'm like, how can I do it better? Right? Like, I'm analyzing. There was no way I could have pulled off any of that.
Thanks, man.
That was stellar.
That means the world. I mean, that was a big thing for Mike and I and the rest of the 6-1 Indie team is we've watched enough showcases. We know what works, what doesn't work, and we tried really, really hard to make it as entertaining and not wasting anybody's time who were watching. And I think we let the games speak for themselves.
Yep.
We didn't spend too much time in between. And like that, a huge shout out goes out to Mike because Mike did all the editing and everything. And he absolutely crushed it. He got all the games together with the developers talking back and forth. Worked his ass off, and it definitely paid off big time. So shout out to Mike.
Shout out to Mike. Go to 6-1 Indie on YouTube, and honest to God, I love it because it was like you're not wasting anybody's time. It's 29 minutes. It's not about the presenter, and it's literally about the games. And like I'm just saying, like the ID and Xbox Twitch things could take a few notes, man, because you guys, chef's kiss.
Thank you.
There
may or may not be another one already in the works. Who knows?
There you go. They do. Keep them coming because they're fantastic. So that said, how was the Super Spreader event? I mean, PAX, did you?
Oh. It was good. It was a good time. It was weird being back in the convention center after that being the last thing I was in before everything shut down.
Yeah.
And seeing there was actually a lot of wide open spaces because it wasn't as jam packed as previous because all the big guys were gone. No PlayStation, no THQ Nordic, no Nintendo, no Xbox, no nothing. So it was no Square Enix. So it was a little weird. But I think it's what PAX says best is it gave more time for the indies to shine.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of really cool things there that I played. But still trying to get my energy back, man. It was a long 4 days.
Yeah, man.
And this week, instead of having like a buffer day before going back to work, I go to work and then I come home and I pass out.
Real talk. So, I was like, because when you're like, yeah, I'm leaving on Sunday. I'm like, I literally looked at that Twitter post. I was like, that's a wrong move. I would have left on Saturday. You got a good day to relax on Sunday.
Looking back, yeah, probably should have.
Well, now, okay, real talk. Did you use like when you went back? Were you in one of the carriages, one of those cool carriages, or you just went like with the normies?
What did we? Are you saying we took like horse and buggy? Like, what are you talking about?
No, like in Amtrak, they have like these designated rooms that you guys can have.
No, I did not. No, that's like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I was just a coach.
Listen, that's always a dream of mine.
Oh yeah, I think going across country on Amtrak would be cool.
Yeah, because I've always thought about like the old westerns where they're in their carriages. Like that seems dope. That seems nice and relaxing. Kick your feet up. You know, you're not next to any like hobos.
Yeah, sure. With their bundles on a stick right over their shoulder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't want to be with the normies. Everybody's coughing in my ear. Like Amtrak was already gross before the global condition. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, God only knows what it is now. That said, Kyle, I'm happy you're back again. I missed the crap out of you. I feel the energy tonight.
Yeah.
And what better week for you to come in, because literally we're talking about it all. Like we're talking about how Ubisoft is up for sale, and if we were should PlayStation go and buy it? We're going to be talking about PlayStation's new game preservation team, what it exactly means, and we're going to talk about the little controversy that just happened, how PlayStation now requires devs over a certain dollar limit to make demos for the PlayStation Premium tier, and how premium tiers, or your PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus, will not stack for your PlayStation tiers when it converts over. And, of course, we're going to be talking about it, how Xbox is currently outpacing PlayStation in this quarter. All that and so much more. Seriously, we're going to be talking about The Last of Us remake again. You know, there's a lot to discuss. But before we do, it's time for our Patreon pitch. Like we say each and every week, if we ever got you through a long car ride, a tough day at work, whatever your situation may be, it really does help us out if you toss us a buck our way over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. It's the reason why we look so good and sound so great. And I want to thank our platinum members, Todd Burowitz and Talkshik. I want to thank our gold members, Too Soon, Gavin Gottfried, Jose Jimenez, Jedi Master Ren, Metal Kirby, Awesome Dave, Robbie Bobby Miller, and Strubles and Bits. I want to thank our Silver Plus members, Hide Indoors, Nakachaka, Marcus O'Neill, JB the Purple Monkey, J-Dust Vaughn Metal, Tim Ulf, Justin Rodriguez, Cypher Primus, Captain Logan, Brenton Zachary, K Grimm, Rick Arrington, Dewane Raksha, The Good Sir, Mr. and Mrs. Nasty Boots, Drellish, Foolish Fuji, Annie Daynell, Kevin Mitchell, Kevin Diaz, Minx Vigia, The Lord Corgi, Elo 2032, Stephen Flesh, Jinx the 20th, Bubble Boy N7, and Jesse Garcia. Thank you all so much for supporting us the way you do. And over on Patreon right now, we're going to have a little bit of an announcement. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be really awesome. It's going to be changing a little bit the ways that we do stuff over at Patreon to make sure that we're getting stuff to you on time and making sure it's the best product that we can make. It's going to be really awesome. And
let's be real.
Yeah.
We've been slacking a little bit.
Listen, it's been rough.
It's been rough, big time. Both of us going from having all the time in the world to now working full-time jobs and then balancing everything else. It's been tough to adjust.
Yeah.
So we sat down, or you called me, made some changes. Good changes.
It's exciting changes. Honest to God, like, I'm really excited for the shows that we're going to be producing because it's going to be bringing in more of the community. It's going to be being a part more of the community and bringing folks in. It's going to be a ton of fun. I can't wait to talk about it with you later. But again, Kyle, listen, enough of the Patreon stuff. All right. Sure. God forbid I want to throw a Henry, or what is it? What's the razor blade everybody talks about? Manscaped ad in here.
Yeah.
Patreon helps us so we don't have to shell for major corporations. Okay. So help us help you. Patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. So Joe doesn't have to do a Manscaped ad. Or what's the other one? Or sell you a sofa, a couch even.
Yeah. Or, meal prep at your door.
Yeah. Actually, that would be super fucking convenient.
I mean, that wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That said, Kyle, enough about purple mattresses, the most comfortable mattress I've ever slept on in my life. But the dust will give you cancer.
Get yours now with code BADBIT
at checkout. All right. Kyle, it is time to square up the news.
First bit of news that needs to be squared up is from Nick Tan over at PS Lifestyle. Nick writes, Sony has apparently created a PlayStation game preservation team. PlayStation has apparently formed a newly created preservation team, which could be in charge of preserving PlayStation classics, according to LinkedIn and Twitter posts by Garrett Fredley, a new senior build engineer at the company. His post suggests that this team will be specifically dedicated to game preservation, leading to hopes that this will culminate in the much requested PS3 emulation or, at the very least, archival work for the vast library of legacy PlayStation games. What is this new PlayStation game preservation team? As originally spotted by user Smitch on Reset Era, Fredley notes in his post on LinkedIn and partially restated on his post on Twitter that game preservation was his, quote, first career passion, end quote. Today is my first day as the senior build engineer for PlayStation, working as one of their initial hires for the newly created preservation team. Game preservation was my first career passion. It was my first foray into the world of software engineering, DevOps, and into a world that so many are unaware of. Let's go and ensure our industry's history isn't forgotten, end quote. It is unclear what the priorities will be for this new PlayStation game preservation team. Fredley himself has 3 years of experience as a software engineer at Electronic Arts, as noted on his main LinkedIn profile page, where he headed, quote, the preservation efforts for the FIFA franchise, resulting in the complete archival of multiple titles, end quote. He has also spoken about game preservation at GDC in March 2019 in a talk called Game Preservation Best Practices, a real-life EA case study.
Yeah. Now, here's the deal. That sounds exciting, right, Kyle?
Oh, very exciting.
This sounds like something we always wanted.
Yep.
It's not at all what it sounds like. Yeah, pretty much, it's not him going into the PlayStation 3 emulation or anything like that. It's much more backdoors related. So I really wanted to nip this one in the butt as soon as possible. But I do want to reassure folks, because there has been murmurs and people talking behind the scenes of this is going to happen, where PlayStation is going to look back at their legacy, most importantly the PS3, and start emulating on that console or for that console. Mm-hmm. I think Jeff Grubb said it a week after the PlayStation tiers were released, where he's like, they have teams working on it. It's not as simple as you think. Yeah. Because from what I understand, it's not like you make an emulation program and it works for every single game. Each game is almost like a case-by-case basis. Mm-hmm. So it's like you're figuring out a Rubik's Cube for each individual game.
Well, that's kind of like how some PS4 games couldn't play on PS5.
Exactly.
Same thing.
But this one is just like across the board.
Yeah, sure.
So, Kyle, I want to ask you, real talk, son.
Whoa!
Let's be real here. How important is getting the PlayStation 3 emulation off the ground?
I think that's huge. I think when I talk about having the PlayStation library be more readily accessible, because so much of the library is locked on hardware that is either tough to come by or it's way too expensive to get into. Yeah. The PS3 is ripe with it. Yes, we are getting more and more remakes and remasters from PS3, so some of those big heavy hitters are being able to be played by new generations, which is great and all, but there's a lot of there's a lot of just PSN only titles on PS3 that are kind of stuck there. There are other smaller cult classic ones that are not going to get that remake treatment that are
the Puppeteer. Sorry, Marcus Onia.
No, yeah, for sure. Puppeteer is huge, and it's, yes, you can play it on PlayStation now, but it's not. There are so many others that aren't able to be on PS Now for whatever reason.
And there is that stigma of listen, I have this PlayStation 5, the most powerful PlayStation I could get. I want to play my games off that console, not off a server.
Yeah.
And I get it. There's definitely some truth to that, and I understand where people are like, I just want to download the games as well, which is seemingly what you're going to be able to do with the PS1 and PS3 classics. I want that to happen on PlayStation 3, and I don't think it's not a big ask.
It's not a big ask.
No. On the surface, But underneath, it's kind of like PlayStation fans, I feel like we know why it's difficult. So it bums us out. But on the other hand, it's like, you are $1 billion company, and this shouldn't be as hard as it is. We're seeing emulation, and sure, we don't really know how well because we get these vertical slices on Twitter or social media, what have you, of like, you know, these games being run off like an Xbox. So it's like, this could happen, or PC emulation. So like, this could happen, but it is, I feel like it is a seemingly bigger ask than we let on. And to me, like, Kyle, humble brag, I got this bad boy, the Steam Deck in. And I've been playing PlayStation or PlayStation Remote Play, and I'm like, this is actually really good. When I play on xCloud, which I have done a few times, I'm like, this actually isn't bad. This actually isn't terrible. This is pretty doable. And of course, it's not a 1-to-1 because someone in Nebraska is not going to have the same internet that I have. But I feel like we will get there. I feel like we will get PlayStation 3 emulation somewhere down the line. When do you think that's going to be? How do you think that rollout's going to look like?
I don't see it being before next summer.
Okay. Fair.
I think give it a year. By that point, the new PlayStation Plus services, the premium services, will have a year under its belt.
Yeah.
And I think that could be a nice little 1-year anniversary kind of thing.
Yeah. And just roll them out, trickle them out.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like, we have the whole catalog. It's like, no, we got like the Nathan Drake collection.
Yeah, you start with Resistance 1 and 2. I mean, you have to start there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then that's it. That's the only two we need.
Now, here's another question for you. Will we actually be able to buy these games without being on the service? Because Siphon Filter, I think 1 and 2 have been rated by like the ESRB.
The PSP ones.
Yeah. So do you think that this is just for the streaming service, or do you think maybe we can just buy the individual games?
I want to say yes, we can buy them, but I do think it's just for the streaming services.
Fair enough. That disappoints me.
But well, hold on, sir.
Okay.
A Siphon Filter getting rated. Come on.
That's awesome.
That's super exciting. We should be happy and excited about that. That is going to be, those games are going to be part of that service, including like the PSP ones, the ones that I didn't get to play.
Yeah.
So that gives me more hope that there's going to be a lot of quote unquote deep cuts of the old PlayStation library games that are going to be available on that service.
Yeah. And everybody I talk to says it. They're like, yeah, there's like the premium tier is not that great. But then once I ask, like, yeah, but if they have trophy support, they're like, well, that all changes.
Exactly.
So I really do. I don't like the rollout that they've been doing.
Oh, yeah. No.
Information. I don't think it's great. We're going to be talking more about it soon. But like, to me, I once we see the catalog that they're working with, I feel like that's when we get to make the final judgment call of, is this service actually worth it? But like seeing like Siphon Filter get rated gives me a lot of hope, man, because I am so in. I need a Siphon Filter reboot stat.
It's very much like how we talk all the time when we don't hear from PlayStation for so long, and we're complaining about it, and we're like, come on, talk to us. And then the moment they show us something, that thought's gone. We're happy about it. So it's the same thing here. Like, yeah, I wish we knew what games we were getting. I wish we knew what games are streaming only. But like, all that will go away the moment they actually talk.
And I feel like the most important thing for PlayStation out the gate for me is like, what are you doing for PlayStation 1? What are you doing for PlayStation 2? Because I was 9 years old, so I didn't have the, believe it or not, I didn't have the cash back then to go to my local Toys R Us and go, I want a Rainbow Six.
Yeah.
I'll take one Gex the Gecko, please.
I'll take one Croc the Legend of the Gobos. Thank you very much.
Like, wow, your vocabulary for a 9-year-old is fantastic. I'm like, yes, sir. Certainly.
Mama, I have to go potty.
Mother, I must dispense. So, yeah, listen, the preservation team, a little bit of a bummer that it isn't the thing we desperately want, but I'm pretty
Still
sure that
cool.
they're going to.
I mean, it's not what we want, but it is for future.
Yeah.
Making sure that all our games are going to be preserved from here on forward.
Yeah.
I mean, that's still pretty cool. Yeah.
That said, Kyle, you know what's really cool, I guess?
Yeah. What?
Not really, actually, now that I'm reading this headline. How Sony's requiring some devs to provide free trials for the PlayStation Plus subscribers.
Yeah, that next bit of news that's squaring up. The Joe just read the title and threw me off. Ethan Koch over at Kotaku, Sony requiring some game devs to provide free trials to PS Plus subscribers. When Sony combines PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now in June, its new most expensive tier will be $18 a month and include time-limited game trials. But most games don't currently have such demos. To fix that moving forward, Game Developer Now reports Sony will require all developers of games at a wholesale cost over $34 to also release free demos for subscribers to try. So far, the new policy appears to have only been communicated through Sony's developer portal, rather than an official announcement to third-party partners. Kotaku's own sources have confirmed. The game trials would have to be 2 hours long, released within the first 3 months of the game coming out, and be available for at least a year. Developers can still propose alternative demo formats on a case-by-case basis, and the new rule wouldn't apply to VR games. Sony did not respond to a request for comment, but the game trials could end up hurting some developers' bottom lines. They can have a major impact on game sales, as Steam developers subject to the Valve storefront's 2-hour return policy can attest. And it doesn't appear that Sony is offering any extra compensation to developers in exchange for providing the new perk.
Okay, so I don't know how I feel about this, Kyle. I'm kind of two minds about it. So this article came out, and I was like, well, this kind of sucks, because if a developer doesn't get any incentive for making this demo, like, they have to budget their time, they have to budget the game that they're making in order to just put a demo in there. But it looks like that PlayStation is going to front the bill, per se, because they will actually handle the demo process for you, which is nice. Because to me, I wasn't thinking about, how is Tiny Tina's dev team going to really scrounge up the cash? I'm thinking about, like, how the Sifu team is going to help, make that game or their next project, because Sifu came out and it was $40. Kina came out, it was $40-$50. So, like, in terms of scaling as an indie dev, that can really hurt. So I like that PlayStation's like, no, don't worry, we got you here. But then the incentive of, but what if someone, and this is weird, this is where it gets a little Inception-y. What if someone tries the demo out, doesn't like it, but they were going to buy it if this trial didn't exist? That does hurt the developer. And they don't get any incentive for even just someone downloading the trial. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, at face value, I like this.
Yeah.
I like having a demo to try out a game that I was on the fence about. And I feel like that's the key. I feel like the only games that I think people are going to use this for are the ones that they're on the fence about. I don't think you and I or like the hardcore PlayStation player is going to be like, oh, you know what? Let me try out 2 hours of God of War Ragnarok to see if I like it.
Right.
No, we're going to buy it no matter what. It's going to be like the third party ones that we've heard mixed things of previews or whatnot. Like,
right. Or you may not think it's your jam.
Exactly. Like, I could see like a Ghostwire Tokyo having a 2-hour demo to see if you dig that kind of combat or whatnot.
Yeah.
So on paper, I love it. Yeah, it does suck that it could potentially hurt the devs. You play those 2 hours and you missed out on a sale.
Yeah.
I think that definitely sucks. But I feel like this is also an answer to that. That question or that statement that's been, oh my God, can't speak. That's been thrown about in the past couple of months of like, right. Is Sony anti-consumer? I mean, this is a pro-consumer thing because they're letting you try out games.
I mean, if you, and that was actually my next question is like, yeah, but like if you have, it's not actually $18 a month, but if you're only doing it month by month and not year or 3 months,
sure,
$18 a month, yes, you are paying for this service.
Yeah.
Which is, to me, essentially, I'm not actually looking at it as a demo. I'm actually looking at it as the Valve return policy. So it's like, oh, you're just giving me the option of returning a game. And that's where I feel like my mentality is kind of skewed, because I do like it. Face value, I'm getting this premium service. I got it already by being a year plus now member. But like, to me, I'm like, yeah, this should have been maybe a base tier thing. I think this would have been really cool at the $9 tier. And I think that would be an incentive enough to join the service. But it's a weird thing where it's like, I like this because I know I'm getting the perk, but I feel like more people should be getting the perk. If that makes sense.
And I agree with that as well. I think it, or have it again in a tier system where the base tier only gets like 45-minute demo.
Sure.
And like you like
parcel it out.
Yeah, parcel it out a little bit. The middle tier gets an hour, and then the premium tier gets 2 hours.
Yeah. To me, I like it for the sense of the devs don't get, it seems like, hurt via like having to change the scope of the game. And I like your argument that you made. It's just like, if you've looked at the trailer and you've been like, quote unquote, sold on the game, genuinely speaking, you're going to just buy the game. Yeah. This is for the games like I'm thinking in my head, like for me, it would be Nobody Saves the World. Someone that was never going to really, you know, buy that game, but then being able to experience it. It's one of my games of the year right now.
Yeah.
So like for people that just want to explore when it comes to games, I think that is a great incentive for a base level.
Yeah.
And to just have the option of demos that are something that just truly just doesn't exist anymore is nice. And I do understand that even when it comes to demos back then, as they do now, those costed a lot of money for devs to create. Yeah. So if this is the way that you're going to fix that, I'm all
I also don't view this any different than me being that dumb 9-year-old kid from before at like the the drugstore picking up a prescription and seeing on the magazine rack the latest PlayStation magazine that comes with the demo disc, and only able to get that demo disc when I buy the magazine. And then I'm home and I play that demo disc like crazy.
Shit, what a good argument that was. Because we're thinking these things just rained from the goddamn sky.
No, they didn't.
Somewhere. That's true. You still had to buy the magazine.
I think Pizza Hut has some demos, but even then you had to like buy a pizza to get the demo disc.
Shit. I mean, that is a good argument. Like you go to Burger King for Sneak King, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. I see that. That's a good point to be made. Yeah, that's a good point. Because, there were some free demos, but usually you stole them in those magazines.
Yeah. And, like, some of the bigger demos that I can think of is, like, I think Metal Gear Solid 2, that demo came with Zone of the Enders. And, like, Final Fantasy 8 came with... The demo came with something else. Like they were packaged within a game already.
You're right. So it's like, this is just clever marketing. Jesus, Kyle, you're on fire tonight. Let me tell you, because I did not think about this. Because everybody gets like, I remember the back of the day, a demo used to be a demo and not something you had to. And you're right. It's like, no, these came out of magazines.
Back in the day when we rented a game from Blockbuster, is that not renting basically a demo for a few days?
Son of a... He's making good points, guys. He's making good points. Someone on Twitter cut this man down. All right, so you know what? You won me over on that argument. I can't find something that defeats it.
I still agree with you though. It should still be at like the base tier.
Yeah, absolutely. Kyle, you know what should be at the base tier?
What should be at the base tier, Joe?
Listen, guys, I'm gonna be real. It was my sister-in-law's birthday. I'm 2 pieces of cake and 3 coffees, just raring to go hyper. My brain is firing off levels that I don't know. It hasn't been seen since that one movie. What's the movie where the guy takes a pill and he's like smart?
Limitless?
Yeah, Limitless.
Bradley Cooper?
Bradley Cooper's Limitless right now.
Oh, that movie's only been referenced right now.
Bradley Cooper's ears perks up. I think someone's talking about Limitless.
Actually, you know what? I think they made a TV show based on it too. I think.
Of course,
I'm thinking about it. Anyway, Hyrule Crier over at Game Rant writes, Ubisoft is reportedly up for sale. As reported by Bloomberg, talks are being held about the potential of several private equity firms acquiring Ubisoft. Talks are apparently early on, but include private equity firms like Blackstone Incorporated and KKR and Company, and several current and former Ubisoft developers told Kotaku that they believe the company will eventually be sold. This is according to the developers Kotaku spoke to, due to the flagging stock price of Ubisoft over the last year or so. Additionally, Kotaku reports that Ubisoft has been auditing various parts of its business with several outside consultancy firms. And while this is a standard practice for any business, Kotaku sources claim this is in preparation for an acquisition. When asked about a potential acquisition as recently as February 2022, Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot said that the company, quote, can remain independent, end quote, but would consider acquisition offers. Guillemot indicated that no acquisition offer for Ubisoft had been made at the time, adding that, quote, we will not speculate on why people haven't made an offer, end quote.
Oh my God, what a saying. What a quote. Why people haven't made an offer yet? First off, they did make a Limitless show, lasted a season.
Okay.
And if video watchers saw my face, Jennifer Carpenter's in it, and she plays Deb in Dexter.
Yeah.
I loved her in that show. Carpenter. Yeah. All right, listen. Enough about Jennifer Carpenter. Nagachaka writes in, how did Ubisoft end up in this situation? Ubisoft has franchises that we were absolutely... Oh, come on, Awesome Dave's influence on the show were absolute bangers, such as Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, Watch Dogs, Far Cry, The Division, Splinter Cell, and Mario. What's the Mario game?
I think Mario and Rabbids.
Mario and Rabbids should be easy to be successful, right?
I mean, yeah, it should be. And those are household names as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, like, you take a look at, like, just Rainbow Six alone and Assassin's Creed. Those are two huge titles. Both of them make a ton of recurring income for Ubisoft. So you're thinking to yourself, why are they in this mess? And it becomes kind of easy to see when you take a look at their games that they're having cooking up right now that still haven't come out yet. Right? So to me, they have so many games that are just stuck in the pipeline because of how they were impacted due to the pandemic, and they don't know how to see themselves out of it. Right? Like Skull and Bones just got I think some alphas being handed out. But even right now, that game was announced like 3, maybe even 4 years ago.
I want to say 4.
Yeah.
I'll look that up because it's been a while.
I mean, there's like a roller derby game that they've announced like 4+ years ago as well.
Yeah.
And
that's
like,
not out yet?
No, you got Beyond Good and Evil 2 that is just in limbo. The creators left. Like, there are a lot of games stuck in the pipeline. That Prince of Persia
remake or remaster or whatever it is.
Looks like it's getting an absolute overhaul. So they're hurting, and it's not because of their success, but it's also because of the success of these franchises. It's because working from home's tough. Working with a team of just a dozen people is difficult when it's working from home. Times that by literally 20,000 people that work at Ubisoft, that's an undertaking. That's an absolute undertaking. And all the people leaving because of the alleged toxic workplace is just a whole lot of messes going on right now at Ubisoft. Is why they found themselves there.
To note, Skull and Bones game began development in 2013 as an expansion to Black Flag, and then it went off on its own. It was unveiled at Ubisoft's press conference in 2017. So 5 years at this point.
So it kind of starts making sense.
Yeah.
Again, they have some massive pipeline issues that they need to address. But Matthew Kennedy writes in. He says, I have a question. I love how you guys always talk about how it pleases you to see Sony organically building studios and how their recent purchases have been supported by those ideas. However, with Microsoft's giant publisher acquisitions, Activision and Bethesda, I know technically a developer, but all things considered, I get you. It doesn't seem likely that they could even legally be in line for the Ubisoft takeover. That would be like landing on Boardwalk with hotels up the wazoo. Ubisoft has in recent years had its share of issues and come under fire with some pretty heavy allegations. Yet with so many high-profile franchises like Assassin's Creed and Tom Clancy series, is this something that you would like to see Sony pursue? Great question, Matthew. You're right. I don't think Microsoft's in the position to go out there and purchase a large publisher.
And I think even if they tried, they'd be shot down.
Do you think so?
I mean, after them spending all that money on Bethesda and Activision, yeah, I think so.
No, I think they got one more in them.
Okay.
I think they got one more in them. Don't count all your chickens there, Kyle. This is a mega corporation that will lobby their way to get what they want.
Sure.
Just like anybody would. Or any corporation would. So, Kyle, right now, Microsoft probably out of the running because they are right now trying to prove that they won't be a monopoly in this industry. So Activision, they're just like, look, we're going to be great. It's going to be awesome. Just don't look at anything else. And with Ubisoft right now being in trouble and being a much smaller company, do you feel like they actually, though, make sense for Sony to pick up? If you were Shuhei Yoshida, who actually runs PlayStation, who actually may be the part of the gaming Illuminati.
Sure.
Which consists of him, Miyamoto, and Phil Spencer.
Yeah. And Reggie. Reggie's always there.
And Reggie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reggie's the one that's wearing the cloak.
Oh, yeah. He's the headmaster.
Yep.
Would I, as you, go after Ubi?
Yeah.
It's tough. I think Ubi has way more problems behind the scenes.
Yep.
And I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Like, yes, the games and the IP are super enticing. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's a lot of things to fix there.
Yeah. And I think their problems are literally way bigger than Activision because their employee size is double that of Activision. So you're talking about 20,000 people. The redundancies of that are going to be crazy. So, like, do you really even want the bad press when you're laying off a ton of people? Like, Bethesda was in quote unquote good shape when Microsoft purchased them. Activision, they're going to have to do some shakeups there. Some redundancies will be there. They will be having to let go. Ubisoft is a company that is, to me, I look at it incredibly bloated with a lot of ideas and not well enough execution, and with toxic, elements allegedly in there as well. That's a lot. That's a lot on your plate. So to me, for Sony to go in there and go, hey, we want to purchase you because like Assassin's Creed is Assassin's Creed and Tom Clancy is a well-known name.
Yeah.
But even then it's kind of waned throughout the years, I feel. I don't know if it's worth all the trouble and all the bad press when you eventually have to let go of a ton of people.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, where do you start? Where does the legal line or red tape start and where does it end? Mm-hmm. So I actually don't, it's also one of the many reasons why I don't want necessarily, PlayStation to go out there and buy a publisher, because again, that's a lot of mess and a lot of culture that needs changing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if really many people are up to it. That's why, Kyle, it scares me seeing these private equity firms looking to acquire Ubisoft. Mm-hmm. Because, what private equity groups like these firms do is they literally lean a company out. Like they cut out all the quote unquote fat. They don't care about any of the games that are being made. They don't. They just want to make sure it's profitable and lean enough. And then they're going to sell them again. And maybe that's when Microsoft goes ahead and purchases them. But to me, that scares me more because what does a redundancy at KKR firm look like
Yeah.
And people that don't actually understand the creative effort that makes a video game. Like, say what you will about Sony or Microsoft, but they have people in positions of power that actually understand how games work.
Yeah.
And sure, they may see the dollar sign before the developer, but at least they see the developer. These guys have no idea what they're walking into, and they're just going to buy something to, again, make it lean and then sell it.
I could totally see these private firms be like, oh, why are there 3 studios working on the same title?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me. One studio should be able to handle it. Because like Ubisoft has teams around the world and they all work together to make one game.
Yeah.
So like I could totally see them being like, yeah, you don't need these other studios. You're making it yourself. These other 2 get going.
Yeah. It's just, that's a part that does. So there is a part of me that's just like, man, Microsoft, you want to step in here, save this company? PlayStation, you want to come in here, save this company? Tencent, maybe you walk back a couple of steps. But like someone come in there and help these teams out, because I genuinely feel like they need it.
I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this, Joe.
Say it. Just say it with your chest.
I kind of want EA and Ubi to merge.
I think that's where it would make the most sense. Like
I
an
think
EA
that makes
or
the
2K.
most sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I feel you. Anybody, because even at EA, I get it. I get it. It's EA.
Yes. Yeah.
It's still not KKR firm or Blackstone Inc.
Or like you said, it's not Tencent.
It's the devil I know. So like I much deal with this devil than these suits that I don't, because they could be even worse. So like if even like the only reason why I would want Sony to buy them is to literally maybe save them from some suits that don't get it. You know? That's the last question on this is from Stingray X, who writes in, which dormant Ubisoft game would you like to see revived?
Ooh.
So if, let's just say PlayStation does pick them up, let's just say, let's get crazy. Let's take our shirts off. What game do you want to see revived over everybody? He's doing it and he's rocking a 12-pack. It's ridiculous. Ladies, gentlemen, take a gander at those guns.
I'm single.
And he's available. Dormant IP. Why is it Rayman?
Oh, you took it.
And why are we giving that to Asobi?
Oh my God, yes. Yeah, Rayman's the easy answer, because even the newer Rayman games, they were so good. And that is a question I ask all the time, is like, why aren't you making more?
Yeah.
Or what was it? Legends and was it Origins, was it?
Yeah, Origins and Legends, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, fantastic platformers that were absolutely gorgeous. And I don't understand why they don't go. The one thing we take from Rayman are the rabbits. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. Where did we go wrong in this universe?
I get
it. In addition, though, I would love Ubi to bring back Ubi Arts. Child of Light, Valiant Hearts.
Yes.
Like, make those small, cute, very well-made games in different genres. I feel like that was something so unique that they did. It was EA Originals before EA Originals. Yeah. And I don't understand why they haven't gone back to it. Yeah. And also just give me more Immortals, because I love that game.
Yeah, it looks like that's something we will be getting, which is exciting. But I'm kind of right there with you, man. I give Beyond Good and Evil to like a Sucker Punch. You know?
Ooh, yeah.
Like give even Rayman to, or even the Rabbids to like Media Molecule.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Do something like you can make the Rabbids fun.
No. Oh my God.
What's that?
Pixel Opus.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so like that would be really fun to see. But again, there's just a lot of fixing with that company. A lot of it. And to me, when if on PlayStation, I'm looking at the portfolio going, we are too much alike. Our games, our portfolios, just, it would be more of the same, but us doing it obviously way better.
Yep. And which is why I think Square Enix would be the better purchase of the two.
Yeah, I do think that at the end of the day, again, I truly believe all roads lead to Square. No insider information, nothing. I just got a lot of gusto. I got a lot of confidence. I'm saying it with my chest. So it shall be.
It shall be.
Kyle, you know what shall be as well?
That sounded like we were in church. It shall be. It shall be.
And the Lord said, it shall be.
It shall be.
And what shall be is, Xbox is doing really well.
Yeah, Tom Phillips over at Eurogamer writes, Xbox Series X and S have taken share globally in console market for past 2 quarters. Microsoft says it is gaining console market share globally thanks to the success of Xbox Series X and S. The comments came from Microsoft boss Satya Nadella, speaking during the company's third quarter results call. Nadella did not say which company it has specifically gained market share from, though quarterly results from U.S. numbers firm NPD this week pointed to Xbox availability being key compared to the supply-constrained PlayStation. Indeed, Nadella, not Nutella, that's something completely different. Nadella reiterated what we knew from NPD already, that in terms of revenue at least, Xbox Series X and S has been the best-selling console in the US over the past quarter. This extended elsewhere too, he continued. Quote, with our Xbox Series X and S consoles, we have taken share globally for 2 quarters in a row, and we are the market leader this quarter among the next-gen consoles in the United States, Canada, UK, and Western Europe, Nadella said. There was no new stat for Xbox Game Pass subscriber numbers, pegged at 25 million in January, though Nadella noted more than 10 million people had now streamed games using Xbox Cloud Gaming. Microsoft reported revenues from the last quarter for its gaming division were up 6% year-on-year. Gaming analyst Daniel Ahmad noted this equated to the, quote, best non-holiday quarter for Xbox ever, end quote. Hardware sales were up 14% year-on-year, a good sign that Xbox consoles are easier to get a hold of in 2022 than last year.
So, I want to just point out something. When a company's doing well, that's when they'll start talking about the numbers. When they're not doing well, that's when they're pretty silent. I knew this was going to happen when Xboxes were going to start selling better again. They're going to start talking about it. Just putting it out there, just highlighting it. It's just interesting to me. But let's bring in the first question from Nasty Boots. And I feel like there's some energy coming out of Nasty Boots, as there always should be. He always brings a little chaos, and I like it. He asks, okay, do you feel like Xbox is outselling PlayStation because it, like the PS3 to 360 times, where Xbox had a better offering? Or is it because you can't get a PlayStation 5 and people are settling for Xbox? Or is it because Xbox bought everything that's big in gaming except for FIFA, and people feel like Xbox has a better offering? I think it's a little bit of column A and B and C, honestly. Yeah. So, we were having debates of like, how well is Xbox really selling? I walk into a Best Buy, I see Series S's everywhere. I do.
Oh, yeah, same.
Ton of them. And I think what Matt Piscatella has echoed constantly every time that he's about to put out the numbers and get yelled at by either the Xbox fanboys or the PlayStation fanboys is it all comes down to how the availability looks like. So like MPD this week pointed to Xbox availability being key. Microsoft gets to throw their weight around to manufacturers, it seems, and go, hey, we're Microsoft. We need components. And we are willing to pay a large sum more than PlayStation or Sony could afford to get these things on the market. It just seems like some great, brutal tactics from Microsoft's end to gain that market share. Because, Sony can't just shell out the wampum that Microsoft's ability to take the hit on is. So I think that is one of the reasons why you see Xboxes so much in the wild is they're really willing to foot that bill because they are a $1 trillion company. And that's what you're really seeing is like what happens when you match up a $1 billion company with a $1 trillion company is what you're seeing right now. Mm-hmm. And I think to some PlayStation fans, it doesn't seem exactly fair when, Xbox buys publishers seemingly left and right, but it's business and we aren't on teams. So to me, this is just Xbox making the right calls. And it's going to be really interesting to me when I take a look at this. They're like, this wasn't during holiday and this is during a huge drought.
Yeah.
So like what happens when Xbox actually has those games coming out every quarter?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, man. What did you think of all this news? Is it because there's just more Xboxes out there, or you generally think they're doing a better job?
Yeah, I think, like you said, it's a little bit of everything. I think they are doing a better job as far as like making sure they're more readily available. I do think it's because people walk into a Best Buy or a Target or a Walmart and they see the Xbox there, and they probably have a salesperson in the electronics department be like, "Hey, if you had Xbox, here's this thing called Game Pass with a ton of games available on it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to buy another game. You just pay a small fee for a month, and then get access to all these things." I think that does, and I know people hate this, but like, that's going to sway the moms and the dads and the grandparents when they go in to buy gifts for their children. So yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything, and they should celebrate it because it's a huge win.
Yeah,
it's huge.
They're doing great, and like to
Yeah.
me, when I see PlayStation people like freak out, I'm like, why are you freaking out? This is just gonna make if Sony's complacent and they do nothing, they go out of business. So they can't be complacent and do nothing.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to do stuff, and that's exciting.
Hey Joe, are you upset that Xbox sold well?
No, I don't care.
No, I'm not either because my PlayStation is right there behind me. I don't care.
Exactly. I'm just playing games and enjoying myself.
Exactly.
I'm not a loser that looks at these MPD and goes, I need to make a,
Yeah, I see the numbers, and I'm going to go upstairs, look in the mirror, and put on the war paint.
Exactly.
Time to go to the war and stretch the thumbs, and then immediately start tweeting.
Exactly.
No, that's not what I'm going to do.
I'm going to start putting asterisks over everything Matt Piscatella says.
No.
I'm going to tell this man how to do his job. Yeah, no, I think it's a number of things. I think, listen, their catalog's way better. How they got them, I don't think matters at this point. They have it. It's a really compelling catalog. It's so good for them. Mm-hmm. I still enjoy my PlayStation catalog way more, but it's still good. Mm-hmm. And they're in a better position, and they're forcing PlayStation to make different, tactics. I don't want it to be a generation where it was with the PS4, though I loved all those games, where it was just like, that's Xbox was getting pummeled. I don't want a generation like that. I want to see these companies truly compete in big ways. So yeah, this is fun.
I want a 10-round fight back and forth the entire generation. Absolutely.
And I think you're seeing that, like when we're talking about the PlayStation tiers, when we're talking about, game preservation, their the looter shooters that they're trying to make, them going out there and purchasing studios like Housemarque. This is happening because the market's forcing them to do this. And I think that is just that's great for everybody involved, because you're going to get to see people like Housemarque and Bluepoint make AAA games.
Yeah.
So it's great. Keep them coming. Keep fighting each other. I don't care. Fuji writes in. She goes, as someone who works in retail and sells these next-gen consoles, I'm curious to know if the supply will ever catch up to the demand. What are your thoughts?
Probably in 4 years. I mean, that's what it feels like when it comes to PS5. I feel like they are 3 years behind at this point, I feel like.
I really think PlayStation and Xbox are still kicking themselves because they know these consoles would be flying off the shelf still. We just start getting replenished, I think. So if it wasn't for the situation that we're in. So to me, I genuinely think probably by mid to late 2023 is when you're going to see things truly get like a semblance of normal, because we're still going through a lot right now. So I do think they say 2023 should be early 2023 is when things get back on track. And I think once the tracks are firmly set, that's where you're going to see all these things start coming into play. So
agreed.
Hopefully soon. All right. King Henry writes in. Which one, the 5th, 6th, or 7th? Henry, write in, let us know. Hopefully it's not the 5th. Because you started some shit with the Catholic Church. That was some beef that was forever. That still remains. All right. With the Series S selling really well, do you think this could potentially have a negative effect on future games from both Microsoft and third parties? Will we see a potential of PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X's if the S is the market leader? No, I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
But I don't think the Series S is going to change anyone's outlook or the way they run their games or studios.
Yeah. I know for a fact Game Pass will change the way developers develop their games.
Yeah.
You know, I've been told this. It's going to change the way that they play or they make their games, because they got to make these games incredibly compelling really fast. Right? So you're not going to get like a 2-hour prologue. You're going to probably get like a 45-minute one at best, because they know people could just come in and out and hop in and out. So to me, I think it's actually more of the services that are going to change, and not or change the industry more than like the box or the power of said box. It's going to change things. That's it, Kyle. Any more discussion on that?
No.
Okay. When's PlayStation's funeral? When are we putting the flowers down on the grave and doing the deuces? When's Phil Spencer doing the deuces to the grave? You think?
What is that? Is that another Grant Gustin meme?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Big
never.
fan of Grant Gustin memes, man. Big fan. This guy is a treasure. I'll give it a year. Okay.
Jeez.
They're done. That's what everybody says. It has to be done.
I mean, all right.
There can only be one. Kyle, it's time for Flash News. Gotta go fast. We're running right now. PlayStation Plus games have been revealed for the month of May. Leaked first, of course.
Yeah, of course it is.
We got FIFA 22. You got the FIFAs for PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. I can make that accent. You can't, Kyle. Please.
Well, I wasn't going to try.
I felt like you were like,
I thought you said virus. I was like, that's weird.
No. I'm talking about like my relatives coming in and looking for FIFA. All right, okay. For PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4, Curse of the Dead Gods coming onto PlayStation 4, and Tribes of Midgard coming to PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. Oh boy,
Tribes of Midgard was a game you were looking forward to.
I was, yeah. Now it's here. Now I get to play it.
It's cool. And I've heard good things of Curse of the Dead Gods.
That's what like. Honestly, people are like, this month kind of sucks. I'm like, are you kidding me? Because I think Curse of the Dead Gods is like one I'm going to actually play, and Tribes of Midgard is one I'm going to actually play as well. FIFA.
And as a sports gamer, I'm excited to get the new FIFA.
Yeah, this is great. I actually really like this month. I think it's really good. And I think people are losing their minds. So Famous Seamus actually writes, what are your thoughts on May's PlayStation Plus lineup? I think it's legitimately great, Seamus.
I do too.
Yeah. All right. Get ready, kids. We're about to lose our minds, our goddamn gourds. Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection comes to PC. Now PlayStation already went there. Comes to PC June 20th.
Sweet.
Oh man.
You play that on your Steam Deck?
I will. That's right.
Nice. Very nice.
It's the future, man. The new PlayStation Plus launching. Oh yeah, these are the new tiers are official. We got dates, y'all, for the new PlayStation tiers. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this, Kyle?
No, I have.
In the Asian markets, excluding Japan, targeting May 23rd, 2022. Japan on June 1st. The Americas on June 13th. And in Europe in June 22nd. Exciting.
Cool.
I would like to see the games that come
yeah, right?
at launch. Usually you see the games and then you get the date. We're working in reverse here.
So that does give us a little bit of a deadline of when we think we're going to see them.
Yeah, I mean,
like before May 23rd.
I mean, knowing PlayStation's going to be after we record the show.
Oh, absolutely, it will.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to say right here.
What's that?
In 2 weeks, when we record, it'll be May 11th, which is my birthday.
Okay.
We will talk about the games and the tiers on that episode.
Fair enough.
I'm calling it.
Fair enough. I want it to be the case because I want to see these goddamn games, man.
Yeah.
All right. The Last of Us remake leaked ahead of 2022 release ? Comes from Eurogamer. Ooh. Naughty Dog QA Corey Hong has both QA testing and development support in environment designed for an unannounced multiplayer project, and QA testing development support plus level point of contact unannounced remake project. Jesus Christ, what a title. Listed on their resume. This, fans expect, relates to both Last of Us long-awaited standalone multiplayer component and the remake of the initial game. Also, I think one of the developers straight out teased, we got something cooking up for you this year. So, cool.
You hear that? Sean and Ryan. Guess who has it on their team for fantasy critic?
That's right.
Oh, we do.
That's right. How's Wii Sports doing, you nerds? Oh, rocking that 72, you dumb pieces of you suck. Oh, you guys are worthless. Love you guys. All right. Variable refresher.
I like how you say that wearing their shirt.
Yeah, right? You dumb idiots. Love the show. Variable refresh rate, VRR for short, hits PlayStation 5 today. A handful of titles will be updated specifically to take advantage of the feature, including literally any game that Insomniac has made for the PlayStation 5. You goddamn wizards over there. I love you all so much. Please follow me on Twitter and make me feel alive. You will be able to toggle an option to apply in unsupported games too.
Oh, cool.
Kyle, have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
I saw that it was going live. I did not get the update though.
I have not gotten the update either.
I don't even know if my TV supports it.
No. We're LG C1 boys, right?
I don't think I'm a C1.
Oh, Kyle.
I think I'm a C9.
Where did we go wrong? I'm going to check my PlayStation out right now. And I can't wait to say that I see the difference and actually not see the difference.
Exactly.
So from what I'm aware, VRR is going to make it so that like if you have a TV like ours, it's going to make the games run smoother. So like, for example, Ratchet and Clank runs at a smooth 60 at performance. This time it'll knock it out to make it so that it's running at a smooth like 93 or 94. So you're getting extra frames attached to the console itself. Let me see if I got the update, because everybody's like, oh yeah, I got the update. Yeah, I got it yesterday. This is amazing. I feel alive again for the first time in my life. And I'm like, okay. I will still be on the like if I send out a tweet going, oh my god, I see the difference. Yeah, see, I still don't have it. Come on, guys. Come on. I'll let you guys
know who we are. Come on now.
I know, right? PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. Get it right. All right. God. PC Gamer reports Sony is hiring a senior director of PC planning and strategy in its global office in San Mateo, California. I applied, Kyle. You think I'm going to get it?
I hope so.
Cool, because I wrote it in crayon. I said, and it's not even a resume. It just says, I deserve this.
That beats the way I wrote mine.
Yeah?
I wrote mine like I have a hostage. I cut letters out of magazines.
They're like, holy shit, I think we need to do something here.
It says bring back resistance, you cowards.
Oh, God. Lord Corgi writes, VRR is finally rolling out to PlayStation 5, and I cannot wait to use my LG C1. That's right, OLED. I'm impressed that Insomniac already has their PlayStation 5s ready to utilize VRR, but not surprised since, oh my God, come on, guys. They're a banger, slanger studio. Okay, I see the second word. I approve it now. My question is, what game would you like to see patched and implement in VRR? I'm hoping Horizon gets patched, and Elden Ring would be nice as well to smooth out the frame rate issues, but I have the plat, so I will not revisit the game. Oh, sorry, until DLC, or if and when DLC drops for it. Man, Elden Ring needs it.
Yeah.
Because, listen, for a 9.7 out of 10, that game sometimes runs like
it sure does.
I see those frame drops, man. It is, as much as I love it, it is my game of the year, it is not stable. Yeah. So it definitely needs something there.
This question by Lord Corgi just reminded me, I should probably go back to Horizon pretty soon.
Yeah. It's time.
Point. Maybe this weekend.
I think I'm going to go for the Platinum in Horizon first. Over the weekend, I think I could bang that out. It's going to be easy. I think Elden Ring is probably a summer thing.
Okay.
I'm going to try to platinum Nobody Saves the World, though.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's it. Hey, Kyle, question.
Yes?
Oh, sorry, we didn't answer his question. What other game would you like to see VR support? Oh, I got one.
Go ahead, say your other one.
How about, for the love of all that is holy, for the love of all things PlayStation, why can't we get a 60 frame patch for Bloodborne? Why can't we just smooth it at the old Yarnum Bridge? Okay? Why can't we do that? Because you're going to sell it to me again. That's what and I'm going to buy it again. Because I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker. And I'm going to, like, if you give me a whole new, like, trophy set, oh, God.
Oh, don't do that. Mine is sitting pretty at 100%. Please don't.
Oh. Yeah. Put a fork in me, I'm done. Hey, Kyle, are you holding on to something?
Yes.
Prepare the drop. Here are the latest steals and deals coming to the PlayStation storefront. April 25th, Research and Destroy comes out on PlayStation 5 and PS4. Stride comes to PlayStation VR. On April 26th, we get The Serpent Rogue on PlayStation 5. Gas Guzzlers Extreme.
Yeehaw! Oh, I'm sorry. That segment's coming up soon.
Yeah, it's a minute. On PlayStation 5. And also, I doubt you're going to be guzzling any gas. It's like $6 a gallon. Come on, slow your roll there, guy. April 27th. Sorry, that joke didn't land. Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt on PlayStation 5. I'm actually pretty excited for this game. I'm going to give it a try.
Are you?
Yeah, it's free. It's a battle royale.
Oh, it is free.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like a $60 version that's out of my price range.
With like skins and stuff, probably.
Yeah. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe on PlayStation 5 and PS4.
I'm excited about that one.
How much is that?
Oh, I don't know.
Search it up. Speaking of looking up things and searching stuff, on April 28th, Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 on PlayStation 4 and House of the Dead remake on PlayStation 4. There's no way that game's going to be good, guys.
Stanley Parable's $24.99.
$24.99. House of the Dead. If you don't have like light gun support, why are we even playing this game?
Also, that had a Switch exclusivity of about 2 weeks.
Did it really?
Yeah, it was a Switch exclusive for about 2 weeks.
Oh boy. All right, here's one.
I see you highlighting Waifu Impact.
Yep, here's the last one.
Is that a fighting game?
I don't know, man. Waifu Impact comes out on PlayStation 5 and PS4. Get your body pillows ready for Impact.
That
Waifu should be the
Impact
pitch.
Is a third-person shooter, immersive single-player game in a paradisiac deserted island. Equip yourself with a water gun and unlock all the waifus.
Oh.
It's so hot, so why don't you come to Waifu Island?
Oh,
the cutest girls
God.
are waiting for you, so let's have fun.
And the thumbnail's exactly what you think this game is.
Wow, the moment I saw water gun, I was like, okay.
This game kind of looks like a horny Fortnite. It's like third person.
So it's funny you say that because there's an article underneath of the search thing that from a Nintendo Life. Gavin Lane wrote, "Waifu Impact looks like Fortnite cross Genshin Impact with more bikinis and super soakers."
Oh my God, I'm seeing the GIF.
Oh my God,
Jesus, we have strayed far away from the good Lord. What are we doing here? Listen,
you know what? For maybe Road to Greatness, that should be a game the community votes on.
You know what? We're talking about that on the Patreon show because I don't feel comfortable. All right, Kyle, it's time.
Joe, what are you playing? Mom, don't come in.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like 12 all over it. Mom, I said you have to knock. Jeez. Why are you sweating? I played a really intense game.
Did you see the sock on the doorknob?
Oh, God. It's time for our last segment of the night. Or show. It's the Sony Pony Express.
Yeehaw!
That's right. Gav Williamson.
Sounded like Mr. Hanky there for a second.
Hi-ho.
I know, neighbor.
Gavin Williamson writes, "What's your personal favorite looking PlayStation console? Love them all, but the PlayStation 2, either laid down or stood up with the spinning PS logo, was always the best looking in my opinion. Keep up the great work as always, guys." Thank you, Gav.
PS2 is a great choice.
PS2 is a great choice.
I love the PS4.
Yeah.
I love the slanted nature of that console.
Yeah,
I think it looks really sleek. I remember it coming out, I was like, "Oh, that's different," but I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think PS4 to me is, and like the standard with the gloss, just don't touch it.
Oh yeah.
Don't
don't
touch it.
Set it and forget it, like Ron Popeil.
Exactly. And then you just blow the dust away with an air gun.
Yeah.
All right. Don't you dare touch. Even that's gonna scratch it.
Exactly.
But it's just for the moment. It's beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think PS4 to me even. Well, I think right afterwards would be the PS2. And then I don't know why, but I really do love the slim PS3. Not super slim.
PS3 is great. Yeah.
Super slim is garbage.
Yeah.
But like I actually think that may be the worst looking console. Because like you push open the tray and it just felt clunky.
Yeah.
It really felt like, hey, listen, we don't want to spend any money making this thing.
Exactly. Yep.
Super cost effective. Marcus O'Neill writes in a question for Kyle. Oh,
that's
right.
me.
Are there any games you saw at PAX East that were coming to PlayStation that we should be excited for? Thank you for writing in, Marcus.
Yeah, thank you, Marcus. So yeah, there were a bunch, but I'm only gonna pick a couple.
Okay.
Shout out to Souls games. There are a lot of Souls games coming
Yeah?
out. There's one in particular. It's not coming to PlayStation, but it's like a satire on Dark Souls 3.
Ooh.
And it makes fun of itself, but it plays exactly like a Souls game. It's called The Last Hero of Nostalgia. Like nostalgia, but with an extra A at the end.
I like it.
And you play as like a vector stick person, and that's your character. It's pretty cool. But as far as games coming to PlayStation, I mean, come on. Turtles Shredder's Revenge is everything we want it to be and more. It is so much fun to play. It looks gorgeous. The devs were talking to us while we were playing how they wanted to make it look like the old Turtles action figures and toys, like aesthetically, and totally can see that in the game. Did not get to listen to it because the headphones weren't working, but like the original voice cast is there.
No way.
Everybody, all the original voice cast is in the game and back for it.
Even Shredder?
Yeah, dude. He said everybody, so I'm assuming everybody. Damn. Yeah, it's a ton of fun. Yeah. It's great. I'm happy it's on our fantasy critic team.
Yeah. Just saying, Sean. You should be worried.
Just saying. You know what?
You have a lot of waifu body pillow in your lineup. Is what I'm saying. Xbox Drive.
The second one I'm gonna shout out is a game called Cult of the Lamb.
Okay.
We play as this cute little sheep, and who gets sacrificed by some demon.
Oh shit!
And the demon, and then another demon was like, "Oh, not today," and brings you back, and gives you its crown, and it's your job to get your own cult and overtake the demon that killed you in the first place.
Oh my god, this game looks awesome!
And it plays like Hades.
Really?
Yes, it plays like Hades.
This art style is popping.
Art style is great. Music is great. So yeah, it plays like Hades, where you have specific rooms to go to, certain power-ups and weapons.
Is it a roguelike?
I would say yes, although I didn't die. So like humble brag. So I don't know what carries over and what doesn't. But the twist on it is once you get your cult members and you indoctrinate them, it then becomes into like a
city builder.
So like you're building up your settlement, and you have to make sure they are fed and well taken care of because you love them because they're your cultists, and you have to get supplies while you're running through the dungeons to bring back to them so that you can build things. And every cultist gives you buffs and debuffs. Like it's very deep. It's very good. It's a Devolver joint.
Oh,
I can't wait for it.
Honestly,
can't wait for it.
This game looks incredible. Like the art style, just the cover art alone is like you see this lamb, and it's very. It's like what if we made demonic crap like chibi?
Exactly. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. Yeah. Hopefully this year thing. And then the last one, I did play Trek to Yomi. It was there. Beautiful. I think there was an issue with the station where there's like input lag.
Okay.
because just something was a little off. And I couldn't put my finger on it. So it's gorgeous. I dug the sound design and everything. But I'm a little worried.
Okay.
A little bit. But the last one I'm going to shout out is Evil West.
Okay.
Evil West is it's from oh my god, the developers from Shadow Warrior 3. Wild Flying Hog, I think.
Yeah, Wild Flying Hog.
Flying Wild Hog. And Focus is publishing.
That dev's busy, man.
Oh, they're very busy. Yeah. They're also co-developing Trek to Yomi.
Oh, wow.
So they're very, very busy. Yeah. But Evil West, you play as cowboys in a vampire world where they call vampires ticks, which I love. The voice acting is great. And it's like a third person over the shoulder, just really gory, fun. I'm trying to think of a game to compare to. You know what? It reminded me of Gears of War.
I was gonna say it kind of felt like when I was taking a look at some of the gameplay, it's like that third person like over the shoulder camera view of Gears, so it's close to your character. Yeah. Or even like The Order 1886.
Yes.
But it's also playing to me what it seemed like Warhammer Space Marine.
Oh, sure.
So I'm that is a game I'm very interested in.
I was playing it. I was like, Joe is going to love this game.
Nice.
It's very, very good.
All right.
Yeah.
Dude, you've played a lot, man. Honestly, I'm excited for it all, man. You definitely sold me on Cult of the Lamb, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
All right, we got a question in from Tim Off.
All right, Tim.
All right. You ready? You ready for this?
How's your son doing? Can we
I got the split button just for him.
Is that allowed?
Let us know. I've been waiting to buy PlayStation 5 since I've been able to play everything I wanted to on my perfectly fine PlayStation 4. However, if I want to play Forspoken, I need to buy a PlayStation 5 before that game releases. Here's my question. Do you think Sony will come out with a PlayStation 5 Slim/Pro? If so, when do you think that will hit? Should I wait for that and play Forspoken on PC? How about this one? Should I wait for a themed PlayStation 5, like a Ragnarok PlayStation 5, if you think we're getting one? What would you do if you were in my shoes and didn't have a podcast to worry about? I would just say go for it. I don't think the Pro, I think we're gonna get like a quote unquote Slim and a quote unquote Pro model 2 years out.
Yeah.
They're gonna make this. They're making the chipset bigger so that they can make more of these. I don't think we're going to see a Pro model soon, but you will see one because I think this generation is going to be as long as the 360 and PS3 one was.
Yeah, and I don't think on that note, I don't know if they're in the realm of making themed consoles anymore.
Yeah,
I think maybe they'll make custom faceplates, but I don't know if you'll get an actual dedicated console that's based on a game anymore.
Yeah.
And you can play it on PC, Forspoken on PC, Tim, but I'm a sucker for trophies, and I would never, ever say that.
Sacrifice that. Yeah.
Yeah,
no. I don't think they're never happening. I think you're going to get a Spider-Man PlayStation 5. I don't think they're able to because of the supply constraints.
That's fair.
I bet they definitely wanted to. But they have problems with pushing these consoles out to begin with. They really want to sell these things. So, yeah, I think you're still going to get a basic white one. But, yeah, go for it. I'll be a bad influence. Your kid doesn't need to eat, okay?
Are those faceplates up for order yet? The different color ones? They're not.
Some of them. I think the black plates are, but nothing.
The blue and pink ones aren't yet.
Which is a bit of a bummer. I'm looking for my notes for something. Oh, never mind. Don't worry about it. Drellish writes in, what is the likelihood of the PlayStation PC strategy to consider the integration of PlayStation trophies to their games? There would be, I got excited. Oh man, there might be a possibility to develop separate trophy lists if players want to experience a particular game on PC. Would there be also the chance to hook players into the PlayStation ecosystem who are new to their games? Man, I'd love that.
I love that, but it's just called Steam achievements.
Yeah, Steam stickers, we're calling them now.
Yeah.
Yeah, just Steam stickers, which they didn't call, like, they're just achievements over there. You're missing off. Like, you're missing out on the opportunity of having them called stickers. I truly believe that, Valve. Get me on your branding. I'm going to fix this whole ship. Yeah, no. And I don't think Sony, just for achievements, are going to put like a back end. Because like Xbox has like, if you want to play Minecraft, you got to go through like Xbox Live still, which is weird. But I think that's strictly because of how that game is set up. So I don't think PlayStation's going to go through the trouble just to add trophy support in. But I maybe could see them doing their own PC app one day. And maybe that's how they integrate it. But I don't know. That said, Sotonus writes in, "Hello, gents. I hope you're both well. This question is, which game do you like more, Horizon Forbidden West or Elden Ring? Really a question about whether you prefer story over systems. I recently started playing Elden Ring, and just like Bloodborne, the systems are tight, and the combat pulled me forward into wanting just a little bit more, but the story and side quests are basically unmemorable. Horizon didn't have that kind of tight systems in combat, but the main story brought me near tears multiple times, and some of the side quests will remain with me for a long time to come. Ultimately, my preference is story, is what made God of War supplant Bloodborne as my favorite game of all time. And while neither Elden Ring nor Horizon will take over that spot for me, which one is my game of the year will come down to basically story over systems."
I'm right there with you, Sertonus. I platted Elden Ring because I genuinely could not stop thinking about it. And I felt like a game where if I walked away, I would never be able to come back and pick it up. So I wanted to make sure I finished it. And when I got all three endings, I was disappointed by all three. I didn't dig any of them from a story perspective. And that's my thing with these Souls games. I feel like I don't dig deep enough into the lore for the story to really attach itself to me. Yes, it's fun to play, but I like stories in games. So like Horizon right now is my preferred game of the year so far.
Okay. For me, I don't know, man. I think there has to be a balance of the two. Like, I think one of my favorite stories last year was Guardians, but I think the systems in Returnal was just so good that I was just like, it's Returnal. It's obvious it's Returnal. But at the same exact time, Returnal had a story that is amazing. And it was kind of cryptic in a way that like From Software games are, but even then it was still palatable to the audience. Like, you still at least had your theories as to what was going on, where I do understand this critique of Elden Ring games From Software games where they are a little bit too cryptic for their own good. So I totally understand that criticism. When someone's like, I don't like them because I can't understand what's actually going on, I totally get that. And when people like get their, like I saw one person like, oh yeah, I watched the Vati videos, which you should watch. His voice is just amazing. He's fantastic. But they're like, oh man, there was just, this story is incredible. It's like, was it really though? Or like, is Vati Vidya a great auteur? Like this guy.
Sure, yeah.
You know,
yeah, that's the thing. Like watching YouTubers who are deep in the lore talk about these characters and their relationships with each other. I'm like, oh, that's super cool. I didn't get any of that while I was playing the game.
Yeah, and I think that's a really fair critique. So yeah, I could totally understand. To me, it really comes down to there has to be this balance between systems and gameplay, and one will always supplant the other. Like for me, the story of The Last of Us is probably why I'm playing The Last of Us more than just the systems, though I feel like the systems are great. It's just the story is so much better. Whereas like Ghost of Tsushima, the combat outweighs the story for me, but the story is still great. Which I forgot to put it in the show notes today. Kyle, have you seen this? Have you heard about this? Ghost of Tsushima and the island of Tsushima.
I saw this.
Are going to have crossover merch. So if you visit the island, you get Ghost of Tsushima merch.
So my only question is, when are we going?
I don't know, but I need to go now. You know?
Hey, Patreon. Just saying.
Should we just make a tier of a ticket to
Get
Japan?
us to Tsushima. That's a $10,000 a month goal. Get us to Tsushima.
Oh God, yeah, man, dude, I really want to go. I really, really want to go, and I that game's incredible. I could have a podcast just all about that.
Also, just real quick,
yeah.
Have you seen like the Last of Us set photos?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait to yell at Pedro Pascal. Una writes in, "Hey guys, hope you are both doing well. So I had to put God of War down for a bit because after playing some open world games like GTA 5, jumping into another one was kind of not a good idea. So I went into some JRPG goodness with Tokyo. Oh God, I got this. Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus. All right.
I've never heard of that game.
It sounds like a math problem. Tokyo plus Xanadu times X plus
Pythagorean theorem.
It's like PEMDAS. Just say PEMDAS the game. My question this week is actually about PSN sales. And that is, which ones are your favorite ones throughout the year? The Golden Week sale just started today. It's one of my favorite ones, mainly because it falls during my birthday. Una, gosh darn it, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Bud. Oh my God, May 3rd. Everybody wish Una in the Discord a happy gosh dang birthday. So I always get a game from it. So what says you guys? What sales should everyone look out for over the year? I mean, it's probably because I run the show, but I'm always looking at sales. So like, to me, all of them blend together. So I can't tell you which one off the top of my noggin is like my favorite one, but I always feel like the summer sales are the ones to go for. Like the ones in June, that's where I got like Assassin's Creed Odyssey for $10, and that was one of my favorite games, open world games. So
also, real talk, unit, this game looks really cool.
Yeah, let me see.
It gives me Persona vibes a little bit.
Oh really? Okay, let me see.
Yeah.
What we got here? Copy, paste.
That's cool. Yeah, I think summer sales is a great one. Like around E3 time, Summer Game Fest time are always great. Game Awards in December is also a great sale time. I think that's when you got a bunch of stuff for like under $5 last year.
Yeah.
There's also, whenever PlayStation does like an indie sale, I'm really looking forward to. Because I just have a full wish list of just indie games on PlayStation, and hopefully a bunch around there, and I can just snag them.
Oh, this is some anime stuff I'm looking at.
It's very anime, but it does look very cool.
I'll get my body pillow out for that, sure.
Oh, you have one? Of what character?
It's Garrus from Mass Effect. Shut up!
I was going to say Brock from God of War.
Oh, God, yeah. Brock and
you flip it over, and it's Sindri on the other side.
Oh, God. Dude, I would unironically get a Garrus body pillow. Are you kidding me? That's Garrus hilarious. Yeah, Garrus is the ultimate, man. He's the bro for life. All right. 85 Marauder. Hey, guys. I just had a random question instead of anything related to the news of the week. What's a game which you know will never get a sequel, but you still want one? Personally, I'd love a sequel to Sleeping Dogs. That game is entirely underrated. The story is great. The gameplay is fun. However, since the studio that developed it got shut down, that'll likely never happen. Keep up the great work, you guys. Bloodborne.
Oh, I got an easy one.
Yeah?
It's still not out of the realm of possibility.
I got one that'll hurt you. We continue.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Give me Order 1887.
Yes.
Where is that sequel? Right? They set it up perfectly.
Resistance 4.
Shh. It's coming.
Okay.
Gusto. Confidence.
You're right.
No, but like thinking? Now Ready to Dawn, I think, is making VR stuff for Meta, I think. So that game's never coming.
Which I did not tell the audience this. Maybe I did. I don't know. I forget. I got a Quest.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I got a Quest. I'm pretty actually impressed with it. Like
it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, like
I miss mine every day.
I'm kind of blown away by what it's able to actually achieve with just the headset.
Yeah,
So,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And every day I'm shying away from Shoes Light, and it's concerning. I know I can't wait for the PSVR 2 because that's when, like, this is strictly for Beat Saber. Like, there's no other game that I'm even remotely interested in. It's just Beat Saber. I got the Linkin Park track. I got, what else? The Fall Out Boy track. And then I think the next track I'm getting with my next paycheck, because Gaga is queen. I'm going to get that Gaga soundtrack.
Yeah, sweet.
Anyway, other than Lady Gaga being able to step on my chest anytime she wanted to, just crush me to oblivion. The game that I would want to get a sequel, but probably wouldn't. I had one that came to mind. Oh, dude. Insomniac's wizards. Like, they're just so talented.
Yeah.
They're probably not working on this game, but it is, to me, the one that got away. Not Fuse 2, you sadistic sons of guns.
I know where you're going with this, yeah.
Sunset Overdrive. You own the IP. It's yours. Dude, I would kill for a remaster on PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Just port that baby over.
Absolutely.
Because the Xbox folks, listen, I'm gonna clown on you guys for a second. Did not appreciate that game at all. I remember looking at when
the real ones did.
The real ones did.
Yeah.
But most of you clowns didn't even give it a shot because it wasn't on Game Pass, because Game Pass didn't exist yet. Mm-hmm. So I remember looking at E3 going, wow, it's crazy. Bungie's on Sony's stage and Insomniac is on Microsoft's stage. Mm-hmm. What is going on? Mm-hmm. I love that. Love that game. And it needs some love on PlayStation. And I mean, they're even in Ratchet and Clank. Spoiler alert. In some shape or form, you get to shoot something out of,
Yeah.
So it's yeah, give me that. Goddamn Insomniac.
Confidence. Gusto.
Confidence.
I like how both things that we really want just then are from the same studio. It's not like they don't have enough on their plates already.
Yeah, it's not like they're making a Wolverine or a Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Or, again, Confidence Gusto. That Marvel IP. That mystery Marvel IP. Who knows? Multiplayer. All right. Kyle. Hi, bud.
Hi, bud.
Honestly, I think this was a great episode. You were on fire.
Why do you say that with, like... You're surprised?
I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm just.
Okay.
I thought this was really great. The energy's back. You know, Dash was great, but he was like Diet Kyle. I needed the full thing. You know,
you need all the empty calories that I come with.
Exactly. Kyle, is there anything you'd like to spotlight before we head on out of here?
Sure, I like to spotlight myself, Mr. K-Step, on Twitter and pretty much everywhere. Follow all the indie game coverage that we did at PAX East over at 61indie.com. That's SIXONEINDIE. We did a podcast every day of what we played that day. That's on podcast services if you search 61 IndieCast, as well as some really great write-ups from our writers who were there, Harry and Justin, highlighting the games that they truly loved, including a very Bloodborne-esque 2D Souls game called Moon Scars, which looks cool. Okay. So yeah, go check all that out over at 61indie.com.
All right, there you go. And you can find me over at Mr. Badbit on Twitter. You can find the show over at PS Trophy Room. You can support this show, and it'd be amazing if you did, over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. We have some really big plans. We have some really big dreams that we want to hit this year. And it's literally coming down to Patreon. It's the reason why I'm not selling you a hairy shaver. It's the reason why I'm not telling you to go out there and buy a sofa that comes in a box, or how you could get therapy online. No, you go see Jose for that, okay? He's going to fix you right up. No. Patreon. It's the reason why we sound so good. I literally, Kyle, people were shocked. They're like, you spend close to $1,000 keeping the show sounding good, looking great, being on good podcast feeds? Like, yes, absolutely I do. The editing software, the cameras, the mics, all of it is because of your funding over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. And I pride myself on being one of, if not the best sounding podcasts out there. It's literally because we put the time, the effort, and the funds of making it so. So it really does mean a lot over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. And we have some really fun, cool changes that we're going to be bringing to Patreon starting this week. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. So you can find all that stuff if you're a patron over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. And also, almost forgot to say, Kyle,
Joe,
we hit 300 reviews on Spotify.
Whoop, whoop.
302 at this point in time, but we're not stopping at 300. Nay, now the march is at 400. Get us there, y'all. Please. It really does help us out. Follow us on Spotify. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify. Follow us on Apple Podcasts. Rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. It really does help us out. It's also something that we pay for is our RSS feed. We don't use the free feeds because Apple doesn't like it one bit. So we really put in the time, the effort to really make all this stuff happen. And it's awesome to see all y'all saying, hey, listen, I don't have $1 right now, but here's a 5-star Spotify review, or here's a 5-star Apple review. It really does help us out. So with all that said, with all that out of the way, everybody, we love y'all. Keep your wits about you. Keep hunting and keep playing PlayStation. See you guys.
Bye. Love you.